Are you a kingdom-minded entrepreneur looking to start a business inside the trades? Or maybe you're a Christian business owner looking to scale your business. If so, I'm creating a one-stop shop for creating jobs, making disciples, and serving the city inside the trades. Each weekday, Monday through Friday from 3:16, we're going to start interviewing different business owners in different trades and learn how they create jobs, make disciples, and serve the city. And if you'd like to join me on a seminar on how to start and scale a business inside the trades, I'd like you to visit the asyougo.network today and sign up. And also, I'm looking for some business owners that are actually using their business to fulfill the Great Commission. And I don't care what trades it is. If you'd be interested, one second, driver, if you'd be interested in being on the show, I'd love to interview you and share your story with others today. Now, let's get into today's show. Jason, welcome out.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have an interview with you today. You're probably one of the best brands that I've seen and had on the show. Not to disrespect anybody, we've had some great guests, but once you see the name, once you see the color and the branding, I think a lot of people are going to agree. But let's start off by letting everybody know where you're from and the business that you own.
Yeah, so I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I own Count Junkula Junk Removal. Here's our logo. It's Count Junkula is the friendly vampire that loves junk.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And it makes me wonder, like when you were, younger, maybe around 6 years old or so, were you on the playground pretending to collect snacks and saying like, I'm Dracula, or like what was it that led you down this?
So it probably came like subconsciously from the Count Chocula cereal. And we even talked to an attorney about that. Like, could there be any way they could say that we're infringing on their brand? And no, it's just totally unrelated. But yeah, one of us thought of, my business partner Chad and I were throwing ideas around of names, and one of us said Junk Dracula and the other said Count Junkula, and I don't even remember which one of us said which, but it just clicked. And we probably laughed about it for like a month before deciding to actually do it. I would like say the name in Dracula voice while I was in the shower, and I would just start cracking up.
Yeah, that's so good. And I think it works, obviously. And I think other people, would want to be a part of what you're doing because it is so catchy. And then the colors and the branding is just on point. So today we're going to get into a little bit about branding. I know we'll have many that are watching this trying to understand how to market or how to brand their business. But before you started doing the junk removal company, you also had another business. What was that?
Yeah, so my same partner, Chad, and I had a company called First Class Clean, and we did window cleaning and pressure washing. We started out just doing window cleaning for years, eventually added pressure washing and gutter cleaning, and we tried driveway sealing garage floor coating. I mean, we tried everything, and we had the hardest time scaling that business. So I actually saw you on the Upflip podcast a year or more ago, and I was like, man, if this guy can grow a pressure washing business, he knows his stuff and he knows systems, because it is hard.
Yeah. When you were looking to start a junk removal business, did you have success in the pressure washing business? Just anybody that's thinking about starting a trades business, whether it's pressure washing or coatings. By the way, I've also started a coatings business, and that for me is a product that's hard to get customer service right. Did you have that same experience with coatings at all?
I don't think we did enough of them. For us, the install was so challenging, so many variables. I mean, everything we did looked amazing, but we probably only did 5 or 6 floors, and we were like, this is not for us. Like, we probably we felt like it was like a 90-step instruction manual of how to put a floor down. And maybe we were perfectionists, but it's like the temperature and the humidity had to be right. And man, more power to anybody that can figure that business out. I know I think Brandon Vaughn has a company called Wise Coding, and it sounds like they're doing really well. But we kind of tested a lot of different businesses, kind of got in and out quickly without losing our shirts. We had a maid service one winter. We tried a lot of different businesses before we got it right.
All right. So you ended up starting your pressure washing window cleaning business. What would you say was the startup cost?
Nothing. We had Chad's stepdad gave us an old truck, and we put some rusty ladder racks on it and found some ladders in the backyard. I mean, we had worked for a professional window cleaner when we were in college at Appalachian State, so we knew how to do the work, and then we just started putting out flyers. But yeah, it was low barrier to entry. We, and just reinvested our profits into equipment and grew it that way.
It's awesome. So you took what you had and started, and then as you grew, you ended up just investing and stepping up your equipment and marketing. Did you end up selling that business, or what ended up happening to it?
Yeah, we ended up selling it to a local competitor, and we did it. I approached a business broker. I don't think they were interested. Wasn't a big enough number for them. So I ended up just calling local competitors, and we sold it through a 2-year earnout agreement. So we got some cash up front for the equipment and the vehicles, and then they paid us a percentage of revenue from all the customers, all the business they got from our client list over that period of time. So, I mean, I think we got maybe $150,000 for it. I mean, it wasn't the kind of exit I wanted. I wouldn't even call it an exit, but I don't know. The whole journey has just been kind of survival mode until we had our great idea, which
that's so good.
Didn't come for 10 years.
Yeah, when you say survival mode, that is exactly what every entrepreneur needs to hear. Because when you hear like, I'm going to start a business and I've got this great brand and idea and I saw this guy on YouTube do it, you don't recognize that the dude that you saw do it, survival mode was his mode of operandi for like the majority of the entire time. So well said. I would say that's a success. What did you do? Did you purchase anything fun with that 150K?
A dump truck for junk removal, which we financed. So no, I mean, we actually still have the same business entity we started with 16 years ago. So we just used our credit from the business to start buying equipment for the junk removal company. So we have had the same company the whole time. We operate We operate our existing entity doing business as Count Junkula.
That's incredible. So let's just play a game. Let's say I gave you $100,000 and you can pick out I want the money back with maybe a little interest, but you're going to pick out any business in the trades to start based on your experience today and what you know that's out there. What trades business would you start if you had to start it all over again today?
I'd probably go something higher ticket. I'd probably do like roofing or HVAC or something.
For those that are thinking about starting and scaling, why did you say higher ticket? Why is a higher ticket a motive for starting a business?
I mean, you're going to get paid off a percentage of revenue, so I'd rather just have the same percentage of a really big number. So it can take just as much time to sell a one house wash as putting a roof on a giant 1 million square foot building. I mean, sales is sales to a degree, and you just want to make it worth your while. But I don't have any regrets in the industry that I've chosen. I like the simplicity of it operationally. Everything gets more challenging at scale, and we definitely tend to keep having more challenges presented to us because we're growing at about 30% per year, and our growth has been pretty linear since we started 6 years ago.
Let's go. Do you mind sharing revenue year one to revenue to date?
Yeah, I don't remember all the price points, sorry, the revenue numbers, but we started July 2019, and I think we did like $100,000 in the first 6 months. We did $500,000 in the first calendar year, a million the second, and then this year we'll end up somewhere between 2.3 and 2.5.
Good job. Good job. What is your, 10, 15-year goal with the business?
My goal is to continue to grow the business. I don't see any point in entertaining selling it until I can't figure out how to grow anymore. Because if you know anything about business valuations, the bigger you get, the bigger the multiple gets. So I just want to keep growing. I mean, I don't know if, it may mean more locations eventually. I would like to grow our Raleigh location to 10 million plus. And I definitely believe we can do it. It may require us adding some verticals or, additional services, but we may be able to do it all with junk removal. We do rent some dumpsters as well, but that's the goal, is to just continue to grow, because it kind of forces you to grow as a leader and a business owner as well. As I don't know if I would get the same value out of starting a bunch of locations the same size, because I would kind of be doing something I've already done before. But I don't want to like take anything off the table. We may entertain franchising again. We may entertain a licensing model. We may try to stay corporate and go multi-location that way. But all I can tell you is that we're going to keep growing.
Ask you one more question. I'm just curious. You're actually the first junk removal company that I've been able to interview on Mission Plan 316. And so I'm just trying to dig in. And also, let me just make a call to action real quick. If you're listening and you have a non-pressure washing business or even a pressure washing business, I really do want to share your story. I want to learn. I want you to help other people know, like when they're thinking about starting and scaling a business, which one is the best match for them. And so, Jason, I'm assuming that the startup cost for a junk removal company is going to be a little bit more than starting up a pressure washing company. Is that a good assumption?
Yeah, I would say it would help to have good credit, or at least enough to buy one truck. But I mean, you could bootstrap it with a dump trailer. We never did. We went straight for a brand new truck on our first truck, and there were some benefits of that, of just having way less downtime in the early days when you're figuring it all out. But you could do it with less money. But yeah, you're going to be it's more capital intensive than other trades for sure.
All right, so let's get into how to scale a junk removal business. And so when it comes to lead generation for a pressure washing company, we've got inbound, outbound referrals and affiliates that we can, different levers we can pull. When it comes to scaling your junk removal business, how do you get your phones to ring? Where do you find your jobs and your leads come in?
I think a lot of it's pretty similar across the trades. I mean, SEO and Google Ads are a big portion of it. We actually don't do a lot on social media, which is, we're probably leaving a lot on the table, as great as the brand is. But um, I'd like to get more involved with social media in the future. But to me, a lot of it is just bringing the brand to life. Like I want people to like see the actual count. Like I want, we're working on animated videos, and like actually, like the business is not about me or my business partner. It's about the count, and that's what we want people to remember. But yeah, I mean, digital marketing is a big part of it, and we track every lead source we can, every phone call, every book job, knowing where the money's going and what's working and what's not. It's been a big part of it.
So inside of the pressure washing world, you can literally start one with door hangers, yard signs, and a good door to door script. When it comes to a junk removal, I'm thinking you're not going door to door.
I'm thinking it's more of an AdWord, a SEO keyword. Like most people find you because they're searching for you. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, they're either searching for us or just junk removal. So having an amazing name helped us be way more competitive on the Google search. Like even in Google Ads, people just click on our name because it's funny, and they tell people, and people will call us laughing, or call us to compliment the name. And we'll have a little Dracula voice recording, like intro message, and that really like warms the people up before they start talking to one of us. I wish we could all speak in Dracula voice on the call, but we haven't figured that out yet. And I try to just take it too far, but we can try to stay grounded in reality a little bit, because it is still like a home service. You still want to see faces of people, so we try to keep photos of people, of Chad and I and our guys on the website, so you still know you're interacting with people and it's not like totally fantasy world.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bot for that in the future that can convert all of your verbiage into a Count Dracula voice. So I've got 5 questions for you, and this is going to wrap around branding and marketing. And what you see is there's a lot of business owners or a lot of folks who are thinking about a creative name, or hey, what should I name my business if I'm going to start it, and what kind of logo should I use, and what kind of should I wrap my truck, or should I get a magnet and throw on the side? From your experience, what's the difference between branding and marketing, and what does it really matter when it comes to scaling or growing your business?
Let's see. I guess branding is like kind of the look and feel that all your marketing is going to have. Like when we briefly entertained franchising, we had a brand guide created for us, and the brand guide has your logo and your colors and your font. So it's like the look and feel, or like the dressing that's going to be applied to everything you do. So I think it's super important. I don't think a lot of companies put enough time and effort into it. Um, it doesn't have to be expensive, but it's one of those things that can cost up to infinite. If you went with some huge corporate marketing firm to do it for you, but you can bootstrap that yourself too. I mean, we did a logo design contest on 99 Designs, and I think we spent $600 for the logo, and we still work with the designer to this date. And I'm also a graphic designer, so I do a lot of the branding and some of the design stuff myself. And then I also basically have a team of designers at this point that I work with on different things. But yeah, I mean, I think it's like every aspect, every touch point, from business cards to pens to invoices to, I mean, I have return address stickers with the Count's face on it. So like even when I'm paying my bills, I'm marketing to you.
That's so good. I think that's so wise. And I've seen influencers make the argument that you're really missing it by not spending more money on your branding from the very beginning, because you get paid traffic and you get organic traffic, and over time you'll get more organic traffic from having a rememberable name and brand that sticks out from the others. What advice do you have for those that are trying to think of what they should come up with, how do they ideate, or how do they create, just a good brand? Do you have any advice?
I don't know. I mean, I know humor is not going to work for everybody. Simplicity is huge. It's probably more important than anything. I mean, I see a lot of bad branding, and like, I'll see like a truck with a business name on it, and I don't know what they do. Like what you do is just as important as what your brand is in the trades. Like Count Junkula, junk removal. Like we used to not even put the word junk removal because we just love the brand so much. But then we're like, okay, people don't know what that is. Like hopefully they'll Google it. But if they don't, you're kind of missing out on an opportunity. So simplicity is key. And how how long the words you use are. I mean, you look at the biggest brands in the world, like Coke, Pepsi, like most of them are one syllable. So like how concise can you get the information across to somebody? And then, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of exercises that big branding firms use to come up with ideas. You know, what kind of, what are your company values? Can you incorporate that into a brand? But there's just a lot of ways to do it, and I'm by no means a branding expert. I mean, I may be just a one-hit wonder, but I guess time will tell.
Well, if you laugh about it while you're taking a shower, that might be a good indicator that it's not a bad idea, and maybe testing it with a few friends and so forth. Because you
Yeah,
said that you were literally every time you thought about it, you're like, okay, I think I like this. It wasn't a quick decision. It was a decision that took a little bit of time.
yeah. I do have a book recommendation called The Star Principle, and it was all about like how a brand and a concept can make or break the success of a business from the start. And I've never heard that book referred. I don't know anyone else that's read it, but it really made this brand click when we thought of it, because we just knew that it was a hit, like from the moment we thought of it.
How much money would you say you have invested in the branding portion of your business?
I really don't know. I mean, we brand everything that we have. We provide uniforms with the logo huge on the back, and I mean, we spend hundreds of dollars on that every month. And we have all our dumpsters wrapped, and we have 7 dump trucks, and those are all, you know, wrapped or vinyl. We have a $9,000 sign on the side of our building that overlooks the Beltline in Raleigh. So a lot. That's all I can say. I wish I could tell you. I could tell you what we've spent on marketing possibly, but I don't really separate branding out into its own category.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting for someone that's researching it to think about branding being different than marketing. You know, when you think about marketing, it's how do I get individuals to call me, you know, or how to get jobs. When I think of branding, what are the emotions that someone feels when they look at your brand? And so when I see purple, I see the Count, I see Sesame Street, I see you know, a box of delicious cereal. And so what you did is you took something that people were familiar with and you associated it with your business. When you look at Browns, I didn't look for other people's brands. I had a dog named Liberty. And when I think of like, hey, what kind of experience do I want people to have when they're around us? I want every team member to be like a lab, a chocolate lab, black labs. They're like the most friendly dogs on the planet. And so I don't want to be the one guy. I want to be the lab guy. And then when you think of colors, what does the color make you feel when you look at it? There's a psychology of colors. And so I won't go on and on over this, but I want us to help people that are thinking about starting a business. Don't look at everybody else and do what they're doing. Do what you want to do and be you. What do you feel good about? And I think that's what you've done a great and incredible job on. And kudos to you, your business partner. You're doing $2.5 million worth of junk removal in a few years. Is there any last piece of advice or anything that you'd like to share before we log off for today?
I would say if you're going to be in business, study business. Like for years, I've watched probably an hour of business videos on YouTube every night. I mean, that's how I came across you. I read over 100 books on Audible, or listened to, all business, like no fiction, everything. It was all business, but I enjoy it. And when I was in pressure washing, I spent a lot of time learning what kind of nozzles to use and what kind of downstream injector. And it's really easy to get caught up in your trade. Like, how do I become the best, whatever, at what I do? But if you can shift your focus to your business and not exactly what you're doing, that's where you'll make a lot of just a lot of leaps, removing constraints and really allowing you to grow faster.
If somebody wanted to check out your website because they're like, okay, this dude knows branding, I'm going to go visit your website. I'm going to look through some of the pages and just understand what you're doing. Where can they go? And then do you currently offer any opportunities for coaching or, franchising or licensing or anything like that?
Yeah. So if you want to check out our brand, it's countjunkula.com. And I'm not currently offering anything else right now, but I may entertain one-on-one coaching in the future. But if you want to shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, just make sure you send me a message. Don't just send me a friend request, because I don't know who half my friends are on social media anymore. And I don't know why people add people and don't say anything. Like, they leave out the whole social part of social media. So I'm not trying to collect internet strangers anymore. Send me a message, and if you have a question, I'll talk to you. But if not, just check out countjunkula.com. Maybe it'll inspire you to start a awesome business in a different trade other than junk removal.
Yeah, Jason, thank you so much. Well, I think your conversation is going to have more people thinking about it, at least those that have already started a business, because it does take economics to make that investment, to start that. And so I think that's the beauty of pressure washing, is you can start so low and all it does is take hustle. It takes consistency. When it comes to, a big ticketed item, it takes a little bit of more capital heavy to get started. So thank you for being a guest today, and we look forward to see you in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, brother.
I absolutely love hearing stories of Christian business owners and kingdom-minded entrepreneurs who start side hustles and scale them into big businesses that make a difference inside the city. If you're interested in learning more about starting or scaling, I want you inside of our community. I am looking for every who that's connected to a trade to come inside of a network, and we all work together on creating jobs, making disciples, and serving the city, so we can make an impact and make an income and leave a lasting legacy. And I'll see you at the asyougo.network. Join me today.